In Daniel chapter 3, we read the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It's one of the great stories of faith in the face of adversity. The three Hebrew boys, as they are also known, were faced with the prospect of being thrown into a fiery furnace if they refused to bow down and worship a false idol. Their answer is found in verses 17 and 18. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to save us from it and will rescue us from your hand. But even if he does not, we will not serve your gods and worship the image of gold you have set up. Because of their refusal to bow before the false idol, and because they remained faithful to God, they were thrown into the fire. Have you ever found yourself thrown into the fire of adversity, even though you had remained faithful to God and had made what you thought were the right choices? It can be difficult to continue trusting God under those circumstances. The question we must ask ourselves is, when faced with such adversity, do we stop loving and serving God? Do we stop praising Him and praying to Him? Do we stop trusting Him? It's one thing to remain faithful and trust Him when everything is going our way. But what do we do when everything is not going our way? If He doesn't deliver us from the fire, what then? After being thrown into the furnace, verse 24 says, "Then King Nebuchadnezzar leaped to his feet in amazement and asked his advisors, 'Were there 3 men that we tied up and threw into the fire?' Verse 25 continues, 'Look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed.'" We must make the choice before the fire that no matter what, God is good and He can be trusted. We must also learn to look for Him in every circumstance, even in the fire. He is always with us, but we often fail to recognize His presence. In the story, the actions of those 3 boys caused others to look to God. How we respond is up to us. Just as God took what was meant for their harm and brought something good out of it, He will do the same for us today. This story reminds us that God doesn't always deliver us from our adversity. He sometimes delivers us in our adversity. He is looking to change us, not just our circumstance. 1 Peter 1, verses 6 and 7 says, "In this you greatly rejoice, though now for a little while you may have to suffer grief and all kinds of trials. These have come so that your faith, of greater worth than gold, which perishes even though refined by fire, may prove genuine and may result in praise, glory, and honor." Have a blessed week.